This is the plaintiff, Ilana Stark. She says she did a favor for the defendant by putting him on her cell phone plan, and the kid's not living up to his obligations. He was supposed to make monthly payments to her, has fallen behind, and no matter what she does, she can't get him to pay up. She hates having to sue a kid in court, but she's owed $772.37. And guess what? She wants it. This is the defendant, Mark Valentine II. He says everything was fine, and he was making the monthly payments to the plaintiff in full and on time. But then the bill went up by almost $40 a month, and the plaintiff wouldn't tell him why. They had unlimited data, so that wasn't it. He feels like he's being ripped off by the plaintiff, and well, here they are. He's accused of talking way too much.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says she helped this kid out buying a cell phone and he stiffed her, but the defendant says she's trying to rip him off. It's the case of what a phony.
Thank you, Douglas. Ilona Stark?
Yes.
You are suing Mark Valentine II for $772.37 in phone bills that you have been paying for him that he has refused to pay.
Correct.
What's going on?
About 2 years ago, my oldest son asked, could I get a phone for Mark because he was having difficulty getting a phone in his name. So I said yes.
Why?
He said he needed it, I guess maybe for getting employment.
Now, why did he need it? Why was he having difficulty getting a phone in his name?
He didn't have credit at that particular time.
Didn't have credit or didn't have good credit?
I was under the age of 18, so I didn't have the chance to have any credit yet.
Okay. Because a cell phone is a luxury. I mean, I know we all think of it as an extension of our thumb.
Right.
But, so why were you getting involved in getting this young man a phone?
Him and my son have been friends since middle school. So it was something that they had.
Did you ever talk to his parents about it?
No.
Because he's minor, right? Like somebody buys your minor child a phone, like, isn't that like kind of annoying? All right, so you thought he was 18. All right. So go on, what happened?
So he was paying his bill fine, no problems with making the payment, made payments on time until about, I'd say, October of 15.
Of 15, so for almost 2 years he's paying correctly.
Right, he was paying fine. He's had some life events that happened, so I understand sometimes you maybe can't make everything on time, and we would communicate, and he would say, okay, this is
Was he still friends with your son?
Up until that point, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So he would make the payments. He would say, oh, I can't make the payment. I send a text reminder, say, hey, your payment's due. You need to make your payment. He'd say, okay.
How would he make the payments? To you?
He would make payments to me, and then I would make the payment and put it on the account.
That way you know it's being paid.
Right.
Go ahead.
So after he did that, so I'd say about October is when he started making the payment, but it would be late or it would be a part of a payment, and then he make the additional.
What did he pay in October?
October, let's see.
He ended up paying October, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
That's when I noticed the...
And November and December.
That's when it was difficult, like pulling teeth to get
Okay. Does
payments.
he end up paying November and December? Because you're not suing for that, so I know he ends up paying.
Right.
All right, so now, when do we get to the point where he just stops paying entirely?
That would have been in January.
Mr. Valentine, why did you stop paying? You were paying all this time. Why did you stop paying?
So originally to start off, I had a phone and everything was perfect, like she was saying. I ended up breaking that phone and I got another phone, an iPhone, and that hiked my bill up a little bit, but I was okay with that. So the bill hikes up about $25 to $30 with the new phone. So it's right around like $85 to $90, I'd say. I can't put an exact number on it.
Well, what were you paying a month? Different amounts?
Originally it was $60. So as time goes on, I get the second phone. I'm still paying on time and everything, but as we were getting closer to this time, she's saying I'll stop paying. She's telling me that the bill is increasing. So the bill went from originally from 60
to... Stop talking about 60 because you know why it went to 80. Right. So it went from 80 to what?
So at the last time she told me that I owed her, she said the bill was $135, I want to say.
Okay, so your question is, how did I go from 80 to 135 because you didn't improve your phone line, you didn't get another phone after that?
Literally the exact same service.
Right, so what's the answer to his question?
So at that time, he had two phones that were built to him in installments. He had the iPhone and he had the Galaxy. So he was paying the installments for both, and he had to pay.
Ah.
So that's part
But he's
of
paying installments for both. Who did the phone trade? Oh, you lost it.
No,
oh,
I
yeah.
broke it.
See, that's the problem, is that you lost the Galaxy, but you still haven't finished paying for the Galaxy.
Right, ma'am. So that's
so
why-
you still have to pay for the Galaxy, and but he says that's when it was 80, and he paid 80 for a while.
He was responsible for his equipment, his insurance.
Right, and that's 80, right? What, did he ever pay 80?
No.
Can you show me proof of any of your payments so I can see that they were $80?
No, like I was saying, I was paying them to her directly in cash.
In cash. Was there ever a time when he was paying $80?
The farthest that T-Mobile will allow me to look at the invoices is June.
And in
So,
June, he was paying,
he
according
paid-
to you, he paid $76.66 plus 25?
Yes.
Okay. Then that's about $100. He says that towards the end it was $135. Is that accurate?
No, that's not accurate.
So it was still about $100.
What I advised him, since I moved my phone and my youngest son's phone to another carrier, there would be an increase. But I told him that I would pay that additional $25 for him since I voluntarily moved my service to another carrier. So his payment amount wouldn't have changed. His payment amount has been consistent. He just didn't pay.
And so his payment amount would be $100. But you're saying you offered to pay the increase.
I did offer to do that.
Did that happen?
Not that I recall.
Not that you recall.
Not that I recall.
I would recall a thing like that.
Would you put somebody under 18 on your cell phone plan?
No way.
Why is that?
Because, I mean, kids just don't know how to manage money. You know, it's just something entirely new for them.
They're going to screw you over.
They're going to screw you over.
There you go. Going inside the courtroom.
Listen, you only have a phone because of her.
Right.
I mean, are you grateful for that part?
I was
So why
very
do you end up
grateful.
leaving her with all this stuff? All of a sudden you just decide I'm not paying anything and you walk
Well-
off and you stop paying everything?
No, ma'am. Like I was saying, I was paying her directly.
Why don't you just
so-
look at the bills?
Because when I would call T-Mobile...
You can't call T-Mobile. You got to sit
Well,
with
not-
her and look at the bills and then have her explain it to you.
Judge,
There's a service you can call T-Mobile and it'll tell you like the amount. So I would call and it would tell me the entire amount of the.
Of course, that's not going to give you the information, son. If
Right.
you're worried that she's robbing you, then you sit down with your almost mother who got you a cell phone 2 years ago when you couldn't get one. You just sit down with her and say, look, I need to see the bills, so I need to understand the finances here. I'm sorry that I've just been paying whatever you say, but now I really have to figure out why it's so much. And you sit down, you work it out. How do you just walk off and stop paying? What are you doing for a telephone in the meantime?
I went and got a new phone. That's why I stopped paying her.
Oh, yeah, well, that solves your little problem, doesn't it? Except for
offered-
it doesn't solve her problem, does it? When is the plan over, or the installments over? When is it all over?
I paid the last payment on the Galaxy on the May statement. So when that
But
payment,
how about the iPhone?
that's still owed.
To when?
Let's see.
I mean, why did you just terminate it?
If I
Again,
did-
and then you'd have a payout amount for me. You want to actually sue again later?
No, that's what I'm including. That entire amount is including the payoff of the.
Oh, it is? Okay,
Yes.
that's what I wanted to
Yeah.
figure out. Okay, that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out. And what happens in June? The answer is no, this solves everything.
Right,
I got
this
it.
will be
Okay.
a complete bill.
All right.
And I did, I went to his parents' house and I discussed the bill with him and his father. And since then, nothing.
Just no communication?
None.
You call him and he doesn't answer?
I sent a certified letter. He didn't respond to that.
Okay, so what have we learned?
That I won't be nice to him
Okay.
or anybody again.
You can
I
be
won't-
nice. Listen, I think I'm a very nice person. I just don't put stuff that belongs to other people on my credit. I just don't do that.
I understand what you're
I mean,
saying.
other than the 3 kids that live with me, I don't do that. So did you lose a friend over this too?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you should. You should. Based on what is in front of me, I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $772.37, the amount of her lawsuit. Good luck, folks.
So the plaintiff prevails. Here comes Mr. Valentine, the defendant, out of the courtroom. You know, this does not look good for you at all. You really look like a stinker, you know?
If that's what you want to say.
Well, how do you feel you look?
I feel.
I mean, you've stuck her with the bills.
Honestly, but I just didn't have
You
the
have.
paperwork to
You have.
back what I was saying. And I lost a friend, so, you know, it does feel bad. But life
So
goes
you
on.
don't care now? She's going to end up paying these bills? You know, she beat you in court, so...
Right, so
That's
I
fine
got,
for you.
I got
All right.
sued for the money, so that means I would have
Okay.
to pay.
All righty. You're learning the hard way. Officer McIntosh has some documents you must sign. Here comes Ms. Stark. Ms. Stark, you are a kind lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you too learn the hard way, don't you?
Yeah. I can't be as kind as I used to be. I have to know and set boundaries. So I can't do that.
I'm sorry you had to do this, but at least you prevailed. Feel better now?
I do.
But you're sorry you had to do it, aren't you?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
It was good meeting
All right. Harvey?
Okay, I don't know how to impress this upon you enough, so I will say it again. Do not put a cell phone under your name for somebody else. Do not put a cell phone under your name for somebody else. Do not put a cell phone in your name for somebody else.